Hey guys, what's going on? Kalamazi here, and with BFA beta winding down and with the actual launch in less than 40 days, I'm going to be taking a few final looks at all 3 Warlock specs in Mythic Plus. Today we're taking a look at a quick Atal'Dazar 5 that I ran recently as Destruction. Here are the talents that I ran for it, and if you remember back to my last video, which was a Motherload 7, they're the same talents that I ran there. For the most part, I would say every talent row is pretty much set as far as talent choices from Mythic Plus, minus the Grimoire of Sacrifice or Roaring Blaze row. I tested with both extensively, and at this point I feel the Grimoire of Sacrifice is most likely the best choice from Mythic Plus, but I wanted to gather just a bit more data with Roaring Blaze in this last run before making a final conclusion. I have a link to the logs in the description below if you want to take a closer look for yourself. I also wanted to mention that Warcraft logs did not account for our pet's damage in the breakdown for each boss, but I will go over the total damage for each encounter from a separate source regardless. We decided to take a different route than what you would normally see out of an Atal'Dazar run, starting with Vol'kaal as the first boss. I think one of the coolest parts about Atal'Dazar is that there are so many different trash pulls and routes you can make and take, so it's going to be really interesting to see which route ends up being the go-to for pushing high keys. Vol'kaal is a great fight for Destruction Warlocks as long as you watch the health of all 3 totems. They need to die within a few seconds of each other or they heal back to full, so proper use of Havoc here is important. Killing all 3 totems sends the fight into phase 2, we can actually damage and then kill Vol'kaal.
Gonna build me again.
Vol'kaal in pieces again.
Chaos Bolt was our main source of damage, followed by Conflagrate, Channel Demon Fire, and then Immolate. Now it's worth noting here that this damage was dealt to Vol'kaal only and not the 3 totems at the start of the encounter. If it were counting the totems as well, we would see a higher contribution percentage from Immolate here. Our Infernal dealt 121k damage, while our Imp dealt a total of 91k, which will put our Infernal as our second source of damage, followed closely by Conflagrate, and then our pet's Firebolt in 4th. and we decided to drop right down after killing Vol'kaal and go right to Rezan, the second boss. Both Demonic Gateway and Demonic Circle are great here for LOSing the AoE fear he does, as well as putting some distance between you and Rezan when you or a group member are targeted by his pursuit ability. Now I wanted to mention here that there are a few tricks you can do to mitigate the damage from his Devour ability if you are caught by him. With the fight almost being over, I decided not to move here and just tank the Devour so the rest of the group did not have to chase him. A Pally Bop or some other type of immunity can also be used to negate the damage also if available, and it removes the need for the rest of the group to chase him around.
Rezan was a powerful.
For Rezan, we see Conflagrate in second this time, followed by Immolate and then Channel Demon Fire very closely behind it. This is mainly due to all the movement in the encounter, which makes it a bit harder than normal to set up and cast Channel Demon Fire. Our Imp dealt a total of just over 100k damage, followed then by our Infernal at 81.6k, which would put them in second and fourth overall for damage contribution on the fight. Normally, from what I've seen, most groups tend to go to Priestess first instead of Vol'kaal, but the trash leading to Priestess at the start of Atal'Dazar is in my opinion the hardest trash in the entire instance. I have to say that I greatly prefer this route we took here, even if we do need to pull a little bit more trash along the way, as it avoids the large, hard-hitting trash packs before Priestess. In a higher tyrannical setting, we can make great use of Havoc on Priestess when the small ad spawns and needs to die quickly. If it's not killed before it reaches a blood pool, it absorbs it, thus leaving one group member unable to have the debuff for her transfusion ability, allowing her to restore a bit of health. On lower non-tyrannical keys, however, the ad simply dies too fast before you can really make much use of Havoc at all.
You do not belong here. My claws will find your heart. You do not belong here. The wounds must be.
With this being pretty much a single target encounter for us, we see a very similar breakdown to Vol'kaal and other single target encounters in the past. Chaos Bolt is our main source, followed by Conflagrate, Channel Demon Fire, Incinerate, and then Immolate. Our Imp dealt a total of 63k damage, while our Infernal dealt just over 80k, which would put them in 3rd and 5th contribution wise. It's worth noting as well that due to the permanent state of our Imp versus the temporary lifespan of our Infernal, kill times play a very large role in their overall contribution percentage. As mentioned, we did need to pull a bit more trash here to reach the required amount before engaging Yazma and completing the run. Pulling a few extra Skyscreamers in the middle pack easily made up for the trash we skipped at the start, and the trash we avoided by going to Vol'kaal over High Priestess first. I feel this is a much better route than going to Priestess, but I suppose time will tell which is actually the best route. Yazma is the final encounter, and once again there's a good bit of ad cleave present, but on a mid-tier non-tyrannical key, the ad simply died too quickly before I can finish casting Cataclysm or even Immolate into Channel Demon Fire. Having a pre-assigned position where you respawn all the ads makes the fight much easier, and melee have to run out, drop their ad debuff, and then AoE the ads down before they reach the boss.
Let your soul be shattered. I will tear your soul apart. Let your soul be yours. Soul will rip your spirits apart.
The final damage breakdown for Yazma is one of the closest we've ever seen, with Immolate just beating Conflagrate by 2.9k overall damage. Incinerate is also very close to Channel Demon Fire in overall damage, beating it by only 5k. If you compare this kill to the Priestess encounter, you will notice that Immolate's average hit was a bit higher here than on the Priestess kill. It did crit a bit more on the Yazma encounter as well, which further increased its overall contribution. Our Imp dealt a total of 134k damage, while our Infernal dealt just over 115k, which would put them in 2nd and 3rd for overall damage contribution on the fight. The overall damage report has the Warrior in 1st at 10.5k DPS, followed by the Unholy Death Knight at 9.2 and then us at 7.6. One thing that we need to keep in mind, however, is that Atal'Dazar has a large bit of pulls that consist of very low health mobs, similar to Shrine of Storms, which greatly favors melee with strong burst damage, such as warriors, who are pretty overtuned at the moment, and Death Knights as well to a certain extent. On a good bit of the Zandalari Skyscreamer packs, we weren't even able to finish a Cataclysm cast, let alone channel any Demon Fire before all 6 to 8 of the smaller adds were dead, which led to this overall damage being skewed a good bit. The breakdown shows that Chaos Bolt was our largest source of damage by a wide margin, followed by Conflagrate, Channel Demon Fire, Cataclysm, and then Immolate, thanks to Cataclysm applying Immolate dots to all targets. Our Imp dealt a total of 624k damage, and our Infernal dealt 433k over the course of the run. I do feel that I could have used to summon Infernal CD 1 or 2 more times on Trash, but with the fast pace of the run and with how short Atal'Dazar is, I wanted to have it available for each boss attempt to best track its contribution. With now having gathered enough data on Roaring Blaze and our Imp versus running Grimoire of Sacrifice for dungeons, I think we can conclude that Grimoire of Sacrifice is the better choice here for the majority of Mythic Plus. Having the potential for multiple Grimoire of Sacrifice procs on larger pulls, and also having our pet's command demon ability bound to us instead of our active pet is too much to pass up. Comparing its damage from previous runs to this one as well, it does provide a good bit more overall damage than our Imp did here, with Grimoire of Sacrifice's damage clocking in around the number 2 or 3 contribution spot in overall damage versus our Imp being 6th here. One thing to keep in mind, however, is that with Grimoire of Sacrifice, we do lose our Imp's health buff to the entire party, which does stack with the Priest Fortitude buff. While this might not seem like a big deal, it can, and honestly most likely will, become relevant when trying to push high keys, especially high tyrannical keys. With not being able to swap gear in Mythic Plus anymore, different strategies are going to emerge for surviving certain mechanics, and an added bit of health to the entire party is going to look very attractive at times. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope this helped everyone get a better look at destruction in Battle for Azeroth, and hopefully helps you get a good look at the different talent choices and builds as well. With BFA being so close to launch, I'm pretty sure this build with Grimoire of Sacrifice would be the build that I run at 120 for Mythic Dungeons once BFA is live, barring any changes being made. I feel that destruction is in a great place for Mythic Plus and rating alike, but all 3 Warlock specs are viable for the same content. If you guys want to see more WoW and BFA content, hit those like, share, and subscribe buttons, as your support really helps. Thanks so much, guys, and I'll see y'all really soon in Battle for Azeroth. Peace.